I'm sorry for last week. We couldn't complete the lesson as planned because of some technical problem. We cannot overcome the problem. Okay, and well, next week we will have a midterm examination. Will be okay for you? Good evening, Ms. Thảo. Right. Yes. So we need to do our midterm test so that we can have some mark for the midterm test, as in the course outline. You remember the course outline?
Next week.
Yes. So be prepared for the listening, and the midterm test will be on listening. All right.
Yes.
And I think it should be easy enough for you to do it. Okay, so today we are going to a new unit, right? That is the topic of Unit 4 is what makes a happy ending, right? And how to enjoy a happy ending, right? So, and we will start with some story, right? A little bit funny story, right? The first story is now you can see 4 pictures, right? And what do you see in picture 1? First Thảo, Thu Thảo. What do you see in picture 1? Phi Hùng, do you know? Can you describe what you see in picture 1? The first picture here. How many people do you see in the picture? I mean, the first picture.
The first picture have 3 people.
Yeah, there are 3 people. Who are they?
I think they are the
Walker.
two 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 people. Spot the lady.
Two
Yeah,
people are
yeah, 2 servicemen, right?
Yeah.
servicemen.
And a lady, right?
Yeah.
A lady, she's the landlady, the hostess. You know the hostess,
Okay. Yeah.
hostess of the house, the hostess and landlady, chủ nhà, right?
Yeah.
It's a landlady, uh, hostess, right? And the 2 workers. So, and what are the 2 workers doing?
I think they prepare the oven.
They are repairing the oven, right? Or fixing an oven, right? You can say repairing or fixing.
Thank you.
Repair or fix, the same. An oven. It could be a guest star or a guest star. a gas server, an oven or a gas server. So they are repairing or fixing a gas server. And what do you see in picture 2? Right. What do you see in picture 2? The 2 men and
Two men feel sad because the birds will die.
They are feeling sad, a little bit frightened because what animals died? A bird, right? A bird in a cage. You know a cage?
Yes, cái lồng.
But a bird in a cage, and the bird died. All right. And in picture 3,
Two men feel happy because the birds in not died.
the bird becomes alive again, right?
Yeah.
Become alive, right? Be alive or become alive. Sống dậy, right? Become alive again, right? And in picture 4, what happened in picture 4?
They so sad again because the hostess died.
Yeah, the hostage fall down on the floor. All right, she may die, right? And they are frightened again, right? Okay, now listen to the story and then make a guess for the ending. Make a guess. You đoán, all right? Đoán, okay. Now you are going to listen to the story and make a guess. Guess the ending. Okay. Okay, so here. Okay, so do you see? All right. Are you ready?
Page 73, Lesson 16B. That's hilarious. Activity 2, Part A. Listen. Look at the pictures. You will hear the beginning of...
Do you hear the sound? Yes?
Yes.
Do you hear the sound
Yes,
from the
teacher.
recording? Okay, good. All right. I need to check to make sure that you can hear the sound.
Page 73, Lesson 16B. That's hilarious. Activity 2, Part A. Listen. Look at the pictures. You will hear the beginning of 2 stories. When you hear a beep, guess how each story ends.
When you hear the sound beep, and then you need to make a guess how the story ends. Of course, you cannot hear every word, but try to hear the words pronounced strongly incorrectly. And these are usually the keywords, and connect the keywords to get the idea of the story. Okay. Right. So if some words they don't pronounce clearly enough, so you can ignore it, right?
Hear the beginning of 2 stories. When you hear a beep, guess how each story ends. Story 1.
Okay, so my friend's grandmother called some men to come and fix her gas stove. Well, after they arrived, the woman went out to the store.
Yeah.
She left them alone to work. Now, the men were really clumsy. And they kept on dropping their tools, and gas came out of the pipe the whole time they were working.
Ooh.
But by the end, they managed to fix the stove.
Okay.
So, at that point, one of the men noticed a bird cage in the woman's living room. He saw that there was a little bird on the floor of the cage, and that the bird was dead.
Ooh.
Well, they realized that when the woman returned from the store and saw that the gas had killed her little bird, she would be furious.
Yeah.
So the two guys took some wire and fixed the dead bird upright on its perch. They were just about to leave when they heard a key in the lock.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, could you hear clearly? Yes, some word. Why? All right. Why? Right. Yeah, why? And the word to be about to leave. Right. And upright. Upright. Right. So that's some words. And here they don't say repair the oven, but they say fix the gas stove. All right. Okay, now listen again, and you can hear some of these words. Right. And you also hear the word store. Store means shop. Right. In American English, they say store. In British English, they say shop. Store and shop, it means the same. Right. Okay, and now, again, listen again.
Stories. When you hear a beep, guess how each story ends. Story 1.
Okay, so my friend's grandmother called some men to come and fix her gas stove. Well, after they arrived, the woman went out to the store.
Yeah.
She left them alone to work. Now, the men were really clumsy.
The men were really clumsy. Clumsy, vụng về. Right. You know the word clumsy? And you also hear manage to do something. In English, we have the verb manage to do something. It means try to do something and they can do it successfully. Động từ manage này nó không có động từ tương đương trong tiếng Việt, bởi vì nó tương đương với hai động từ. Thứ nhất là cố gắng và thứ hai là làm được việc. Nhưng mà phải qua cố gắng. Thì trong tiếng Anh nó có một động từ gọi là manage. For example, the boy managed to swim across the river. Đứa bé manage bơi qua sông, tức là nó cố gắng bơi qua sông và nó đã bơi được qua sông. Thì như vậy, manage có nghĩa là cố gắng làm gì và đã làm được cái việc đó. Okay, so now I want you to listen again with some of those words.
Each story ends. Story 1.
Okay, so my friend's grandmother called some men to come and fix her gas stove. Well, after they arrived, the woman went out to the store.
Yeah.
She left them alone to work. Now, the men were really clumsy. And they kept on dropping their tools, and gas came out of the pipe the whole time they were working.
Ooh.
But by the end, they managed to fix the stove.
Okay.
So, at that point, one of the men noticed a bird cage in the woman's living room. He saw that there was a little bird on the floor of the cage, and that the bird was dead.
Ooh.
Well, they realized that when the woman returned from the store and saw that the gas had killed her little bird, she would be furious.
Yeah.
So the two guys took some wire and fixed the dead bird upright on its perch. They were just about to leave when they heard a key in the lock.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, what could be the end of the story? And the last picture tell you about the end of the story. All right. Yeah, they tell what they have just tell you illustrated in the first three picture, and picture number 4 is about the ending of the story. So what may happen in the end? Now, who can tell me? Yes. So, lady, that is the grandmother of a friend of the speaker, called 2 men to come to the house to fix the gas stove, and they were clumsy, but finally they managed to fix it. And suddenly they saw a cage with a bird in the living room, and the bird was lying on the floor of the cage, and they thought the bird was dead, and the reason was the gas released from the stove to kill the bird, and they were frightened. They were afraid that when the lady came back home, so she would get furious, angry, and then so they fry a wire to fix the bird upright, all right, to the perch. Perch là cái nhánh ở đây, to the perch, all right, and then they heard the key at the door, and then what happened next? Now, who volunteer? Give an idea. Who can? Anyone? Bit long, can you? Right. You can think of any. But you look at picture number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can guess about the ending of the story.
I make a guess. Two picture. The first. The
bird.
The bird in the case died because it is hungry. Not right. Not right. And I see I see picture for grandmother.
When the lady.
The lady she ngất xỉu ngất xỉu nói sao?
She get fainted.
Yeah, she get fainted.
When she came back home, she get fainted.
She get fainted on the floor. Floor.
Why did she get fainted?
Because she I might get she surprise her bird die.
Yeah, her bird not die, but live again. Right, became alive again. Right, yeah. She saw the bird in the upright position, and she thought that the bird became alive again, and she was frightened, surprised, and frightened, and shocked, and so shocked that she get fainted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vì con chim này khi bà đi là vốn nó chết rồi, nhưng khi bà về bà nhìn thấy nó became alive again. Nó trở nên nó sống dại. Rồi she was so shocked that she got fainted because she was frightened. She didn't know what happened to the bird, right?
Yeah.
but the two guys thought that they released the gas from the stove to kill the bird. They were afraid. They were afraid that the woman would get angry with them, so they tried to raise the bird to the upright position to make her think that the bird is still alive, right?
Yes.
But the lady know that the bird already died, and now the lady saw the bird alive again, so she was surprised, frightened, and shocked, and she got fainting, right? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. And now look at the next four picture, right here. You see the next four picture. You see clearly? Yes, here. Picture, the four picture below. All right. So what do you see in the first picture? A couple, right? You see a couple, a man and a lady, right? And in front of their house, and there's nothing, right? With some lubricant drop on the pavement, right? Lubricant, you know, lubricant drop, và cái giọt dầu nhờn nhỏ ở trên cái pavement. And in the second picture, they saw a car back. The car back with an envelopes on the windshield. Windshield is the gọi là kính chắn gió, right? Windshield scraper là cần gạt nước của kính chắn gió. So you see, windshield scraper. Scraper là cái gạt, right? And in picture number 3, where are the couple? In picture number 3, where are the couple? They are somewhere. Where are they? Where do you think they are?
Theater.
In a theater, all right. Since we're in a theater, they are watching a performance. Buổi biểu diễn in a theater and watching a performance. You know performance? Buổi biểu diễn or performance, right? Then a theater. Watching a performance, right? Okay, and number 4, that is the ending. But we need to listen to the first part of the story first, right? To see what happened.
Story 2.
So, some friends of my brother in New Jersey woke up one morning to find their car gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the couple called the police, reported the stolen car, and then went to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they returned home from work, the car was back in the driveway with an envelope attached to the windshield wipers.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, inside the envelope, the note said, "I'm sorry, I had to borrow your car. My wife was pregnant and about to give birth to our baby.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't have a car. It was an emergency. I needed to take her to the hospital. Please accept my apology."
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And the man enclosed 2 tickets to a Broadway show on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah. So the couple thought, okay, the car is back. We have the tickets. The guy said he was sorry. So on Saturday, they drove into New York City, went to the theater, and saw the show.
That's nice.
Now, it was very late when they got back home to New Jersey. Guess what?
Huh.
And guess what happened at the end, right?
The thief come the house and get all the thing from the house.
And took all the things in the house away, right? To leave the house empty, all right? The thief break into the house, get into the house. We say break into, đột nhập. Break into the house. So we say break into, all right. Okay, but listen again, all right, and then guess someone broke into the house. But who broke into the house?
Just about to leave when they heard a key in the lock.
Story 2.
So, some friends of my brother in New Jersey woke up one morning to find their car gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the couple called the police, reported the stolen car, and then went to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they returned home from work, the car was back in the driveway with an envelope attached to the windshield wipers.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, inside the envelope, the note said, "I'm sorry, I had to borrow your car. My wife was pregnant and about to give birth to our baby.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't have a car. It was an emergency. I needed to take her to the hospital. Please accept my apology."
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And the man enclosed 2 tickets to a Broadway show on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah. So the couple thought, okay, the car is back. We have the tickets. The guy said he was sorry. So on Saturday, they drove into New York City, went to the theater, and saw the show.
That's nice.
Now, it was very late when they got back home to New Jersey. Guess what?
Huh.
Guess what? Right. Guess what? I mean, guess what happened at the end? Right. So someone broke into the house to take all the things away. But who? Who could be the person who broke into their house?
I think the man who stolen the car.
The man who said to borrow the car,
That
right?
borrow the car. Borrow. I need to borrow a car.
And they gave 2 tickets for the theater so that the 2 people went away, and that person could break into the house and took everything away easily, right? Okay, that's good. Now listen again and tell the story, all right, based on the picture. Give a summary of the story in the picture, and from the beginning to the end. All right. Và bây giờ chúng ta nghe lại câu chuyện. Nhưng mà chúng ta không nghe được the end thì chúng ta phải guess nha. Sau đó chúng ta kể lại câu chuyện dựa vào bức tranh và dựa vào những gì chúng ta nghe. In number 2, they don't say watch a performance, but they say saw a show. See and simple past, saw a show. All right. Go to theater, and so they went to a theater in New York and saw a show. Xem một buổi biểu diễn, right? But it's the same as a watch a performance, right? A showing performance the same. Okay, listen again and try to give a summary of the story, all right, using your own words, all right. You just remember the idea. You can use some words you hear, but you can use your own words. Bây giờ chúng ta nghe lại 2 câu chuyện và chúng ta kể lại dựa vào bức tranh và những gì trên recording chúng ta nghe. Chúng ta có thể sử dụng vài từ của họ và chúng ta có thể sử dụng từ của mình.
Page 73, Lesson 16B. That's hilarious. Activity 2, Part A.
You see, that's hilarious.
Look at
Hilarious tức là rất là nực cười. All right, hilarious. Hilarious. It's very, very funny. Hilarious. It means very funny. That sounds hilarious.
73. Lesson 16B. That's hilarious. Activity 2, Part A. Listen. Look at the pictures. You will hear the beginning of 2 stories. When you hear a beep, guess how each story ends. Story 1.
Okay, so my friend's grandmother called some men to come and fix her gas stove.
Uh-huh.
Well, after they arrived, the woman went out to the store.
Yeah.
She left them alone to work. Now, the men were really clumsy.
Oh.
And they kept on dropping their tools, and gas came out of the pipe the whole time they were working.
Ooh.
But by the end, they managed to fix the stove.
Okay.
So, at that point, one of the men noticed a bird cage in the woman's living room.
Huh.
He saw that there was a little bird on the floor of the cage, and that the bird was dead.
Ooh.
Well, they realized that when the woman returned from the store and saw that the gas had killed her little bird, she would be furious.
Yeah.
So the 2 guys took some wire and fixed the dead bird upright on its perch. They were just about to leave when they heard a key in the lock.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, so can you retell the first story? Right, you have 2 minutes to prepare the story. You can use simple words, right? Okay, who volunteered? Right, so I think it's not very difficult for you now. Yes. Miss Mỹ Hạnh, please. Please.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Um, the grandfather called men to fix grass stove. When they arrived, she left her house to go to store, and but guys were clumsy to fix stove, and when they saw a few later, they they saw a bird in her living room, but it died, and they feel they thought when when Hobbit come back, maybe she will feel angry. So they try to fix it upright into the cage. Um,
And then when the lady returned home,
yes, when the lady returned to her house, she surprised, and she fell down on the floor
yeah,
because uh, she's surprised about because a bird was alive.
became alive again, right? Okay,
alive
that's
again.
good. That's good. Thank you, Miss Mia. That's very good. All right. Thank you. That's good.
Thank you too.
Okay, thank you. And now another person, please. Can someone else, please? Tuyết Dung, can you? Or anyone? You can. Try to take the opportunity to give a talk. Hello,
Dung.
Tuyết Dung. Yes, can you? Are you ready? Hello, Tuyết Dung. Can you give a talk? Can you retell the story? We have another Miss Bảo Trân. Hello, Bảo Trân.
Yeah, I'm here. So can I
Yes.
see a picture, please?
Yeah. Okay, sure. All right. Yeah.
My friend mother called to maintain to service to repair the gas stores.
Yeah.
Then she go to the shop and leave them at home.
Yeah.
When they repair and the gas is hot.
Yeah.
And they saw the bird in the lady room dies, and they think uh, they think um, they worry when the lady come back and she will feed her. And then they took some wine to make the bird alive.
Yeah. To fix the bird upright. All right.
Upright, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the lady come back and they saw her bird alive, and she was surprised. She get fainted.
Fainted. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. She was so surprised, so shocked. Actually, she was so shocked that she got fainted. Right. Do you know shock? All right. You guys sâu that đến nỗi mà so that thì cấu trúc này trong tiếng Anh có nghĩa là đến nỗi mà. For example, she was so shocked that she got fainted. Cô ấy bị sốc đến nỗi mà cô ấy ngất xỉu. Bà ấy bị sốc đến nỗi mà bà ấy ngất xỉu. Right. So that là một cái cấu trúc mệnh đề, một cái cặp liên từ nối trong tiếng Anh, diễn tả một cái mệnh đề với nghĩa là đến nỗi mà. Right. Okay, Miss Bidlo, let's đi còn guess. Call someone. All right. A lady called someone to repair her gas stove. Right. Con here you need to say con two men to repair her gas stove. We don't say gas machine but gas stove. And then she walked out. She walked. Simple past. All right. She walked out. The bird in the room. It said the bird in her room. In her living room. Worst died. Worst date. You can say died or worst date, but not easier. Died before that or worst date before that. Worst date is better, bởi vì diễn tả tình trạng là nó đã chết rồi. But the guy made the bird in the case live up. Okay, all right. Actually, not live up, but the guy the guys fix the bird. Right. To make people think that the bird was still alive. To make the lady the bird now, you have to know the bird, so not but the bird in the case was alive. And then when the lady came back home, she was so surprised to see her bird alive. In the case này đã được nhắc đến, thì khi nhắc lại là coi như xác định, chúng ta dùng mẫu từ xác định the. She was so surprised to see the bird alive in the case that she got fainted. Okay, so this is it, right? So there's some if you need to make it correct, so easy, all right. Okay, now let's go to the second story, all right. And now listen and retell the second story, all right. You can use simple words, simple vocabulary, and simple structure.
Story 2.
So, some friends of my brother in New Jersey woke up one morning to find their car gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the couple called the police, reported the stolen car, and then went to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they returned home from work, the car was back in the driveway with an envelope attached to the windshield wipers.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, inside the envelope, the note said, "I'm sorry, I had to borrow your car. My wife was pregnant and about to give birth to our baby.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't have a car. It was an emergency. I needed to take her to the hospital. Please accept my apology."
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And the man enclosed 2 tickets to a Broadway show on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah. So the couple thought, okay, the car is back. We have the tickets. The guy said he was sorry. So on Saturday, they drove into New York City, went to the theater, and saw the show.
That's nice.
Now, it was very late when they got back home to New Jersey. Guess what?
Okay, so now be prepared to tell the story again. Right. Now, who volunteered to tell the second story? Someone? Now maybe I need to call someone if no one volunteer. So yeah, someone here. Mr. Must Bạch Yến first, please. Hello, Bạch Yến.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, teacher.
Please.
So I will share the story. Could you please share the picture, teacher,
Yeah.
please?
Okay.
Yes, a couple when they woke up, they didn't see their car, so the couple called police, and then they still working. After working day, they come back their house, and they still see their car. With letter, the letter said someone have emergency. Maybe someone need pregnant and need to go to the hospital, so then they need to borrow their car, and then after everything okay, they return a couple car, and they say thank you with a ticket for theater, and a couple so really enjoy in the theater at the end weekends. Yeah, that's it.
And the couple went to the theater, went to New
Yes.
York. They live in New Jersey, but they went to New York to see the show in the theater, right? And when they got
Yes.
home, very late at night.
I didn't hear at the
Yeah, but
end.
you can make a guess, right? For the ending, you can make a guess.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, it's the storm story, something.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. It was
Thank
Ian.
you,
All right,
teacher.
thank you. It was Ian. And well, thank you. That's good. That's the story about the couple. You see, this is the driveway. Driveway là cái lối để xe, lối đi dành cho xe mà ở trong nhà gọi là driveway, ở trong khuôn viên nhà. And this is an envelope, một cái phong bì. Envelope on the windshield scraper. All right. And there's a letter inside the envelope, and someone wrote that he borrowed the car, something. Right. Now, one more person, please. Miss Thảo, can you? Phương Thảo, yes. Thu Thảo. Yep, Thảo, please.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you remember the story? Do you need to see the picture?
I think just try to tell the story without picture.
Okay, that's good.
Every morning, they go home by car, but at one day, a man and woman go out and they didn't see the car. So after work, they very upset, and they think the car was stolen by someone.
Yeah.
But after work, when they came back home, they saw a car in front of their house, and in the white seal rubber, they are later in the wheel seal rubber, and the letter tells that the letter told explain the reason why the car is disappeared, because some of the men they borrowed some for his wife, because his wife pregnant, and in emergency she may deliver a baby soon, so that's the reason he borrowed a car, and then for apologize, he give 2 tickets for them to say sorry, and a man and a woman became happy, and they they went to the theater to theater and
to see the show, right? To see the show, right?
Yeah, but and after and when they went home lately, they very surprised because had someone enter their house and not enter broke in the house and took many things in their house. Yeah.
Took away.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And who do you think could be the thief?
They after that they know that they will they good they mắc bẫy em không biết dùng từ đó.
They were cheated, bị lừa.
They were cheated by the man who borrowed their car and he do something to the purpose the big purpose him is stolen some furniture or something in their house. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Was Phương Thảo. Thank you. Yeah. So they must have been cheated.
Yeah.
They must have been.
Yes, that's right.
Cheated by the man who borrowed the car before, right?
That's right.
By the man who borrowed.
Like thả con tép bắt con tôm á thầy.
Right. Okay. Right. So they must have been cheated. Must have been cheated. It means ắt hẳn là bị lừa. Cái cấu trúc này gọi là cấu trúc giả định. And if you can use this structure in your speaking and doing a speaking examination, so your mark should be higher, all right? And when you use must here, it means that you are sure of at least 90%, 95% certainty. And but this is substantive. Nhưng cấu trúc này trong tiếng Anh thì nó thuộc loại thức gọi là substantive, giả định. And if you can use this structure, it is similar to conditional, the third conditional sentence. Nó gần tương tự như cái câu điều kiện loại 3, tức là giả định trong quá khứ. Thì đây là chúng ta suy đoán về cho một hành động trong quá khứ. Như vậy, they must have been cheated, họ ắt hẳn. Must không phải ở đây nó không có nghĩa phải là, mà nó là ắt hẳn là. Nếu suy đoán cho hiện tại tương lai thì must cộng với động từ nguyên mẫu, must cộng với một cái cấu trúc hoàn thành nguyên mẫu. Cái này là hoàn thành bị động. Nhưng mà nguyên mẫu chúng ta gọi nó là perfect infinity, là bởi vì cái động từ have này là dùng ở nguyên mẫu không chia, nên chúng ta gọi nó là perfect infinity. Must or can't, hẳn không thể là đã, alright. Or should, lẽ ra đã nên làm cái gì đấy, right. Must, can't or might, đã có thể làm gì đấy. And then go with perfect infinity. Oh. So this structure is perfect infinity means have and past participle. Nhưng mà have này không chia, nên chúng ta gọi nó là perfect infinity. So this structure that is substantive in the past. Giả định trong quá khứ. Đây là một loại cấu trúc. Mà tiếng Việt chúng ta không có cấu trúc động từ. Nên chúng ta chỉ có thể diễn đạt nó bằng một số từ. Nhưng mà trong tiếng Anh thì nó có cái cấu trúc với động từ để thể hiện giả định. Và giả định là một trong những cái cấu trúc khó dùng trong tiếng Anh. Nhưng mà lại rất là interesting, rất là colorful. And if you can use the substantive in your speaking or in your writing, so you would earn a higher mark, right? Especially if you do IELTS test and in your speaking test, and if you can use it. So you can say, well, they must have been cheated by the man who borrowed or who pretended to borrow their car. All right. Nếu không dùng borrow thì pretended to borrow. Pretend, giả vờ. Pretend to do something. Who pretended to borrow their car. So the man pretended to borrow their car and then returned their car with an envelope with a sorry letter and 2 theater tickets so that he could break into their house when they went away to see the show at the theater and took away all the valuable things in the house, right? So the couple here must have been cheated by that person, right? So that's it. Thì như vậy nói thì với khả năng nói của lớp chúng ta, nếu quy ra thang điểm của IELTS thì rất nhiều người trong lớp chúng ta sẽ đạt ở thang điểm bên 5 to 5.5. And some of you might reach band 6 or 6.5. And that is good, alright. Nếu mà các cái kỹ năng kia cũng đồng bộ như nói thì nếu chúng ta ở thời điểm này thi IELTS thì nhiều người sẽ trên điểm 5, right? Và điểm 5 là điểm mà đủ để mà làm đầu vào nghiên cứu sinh về môn ngoại ngữ. 5 đến 5.5 tùy ngành. Thường là 5 điểm là đủ rồi. And so that is good. Your speaking is okay. If you make some more effort, so you will come to band 6 or 6.5, and if some very good student in our class can even reach band 7, right? If you try more, it could be band 7.5, all right? And band 7, 7.5 a little bit more difficult, but 6 and 6.5 not that difficult, right? Okay, so that's good. Như vậy về phần speaking thì có lẽ là đa số trong lớp chúng ta không đến nỗi nào, right? Visible. But writing a little bit more difficult. And listening, if you have the listening techniques, so you can do the listening test more easily, right? Okay, now we go to the next part, right? So that is the first story, but you have the same script of the story in your PowerPoint, right? So, and now I want you to listen to a song, right? And complete the words which have been erased, right? To change the atmosphere. Okay. Now, first of all, I will copy and I put the lyric of the song in your chat box, all right, so you can follow it more easily, all right. It is the lyric of the song, tức là phần lời. Tiếng Anh gọi là the lyric of the song. Okay, now, so listen and try to identify the words. Okay, so now Can you put in the chat box your answer? Oh. Over a second, wanted memory, pretending. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah. Some more. Right. Now maybe listen one more time. See. Okay. So we're number 1 over. That's good. Number 2 said. Number 3. Number 3 that is could, not would. All right. Over. Said. Could. You hear could very clearly. And number 4, they wanted. Right. Number 5, that the memories. That's good. Some of you can hear the word memories. And number 6, that is pretending. The most difficult word, pretending. Never. All right. So that is good. All right. So many of you could hear very well. Right. So pretend. Never. And so only one word may be a little bit difficult for you is pretending. Right. To pretend to do something. Right. And Well, in the way you hear this, supposed to. Trong bài hát chúng ta có cụm được we are supposed to. We were meant to be, supposed to be. But we lost it. You were everything that I wanted. You were everything that I wanted. We were meant to be, supposed to be, but we lost it. What does that mean? Right. You were everything that I wanted. Right. And we were meant to, let's see, meant to be. Meant to be, supposed to be, but we lost it. How do you understand these two sentences? All right. Who can translate these two sentences into Vietnamese? Là bạn nào trong lớp mình có thể dịch được hai câu trong lời hát này sang tiếng Việt? The first is easy. You were everything that I wanted. But the second one, passive voice, right? We were meant to be. Supposed to be. But we lost it. Who can translate that into Vietnamese? Someone who knows? Thùy Dung, can you? To mean, I don't mean to hurt you, for example. And yeah, try.
Chúng tôi đã có được điều đó, nhưng mà chúng tôi đã bị mất.
Alright. You were everything that I wanted. Anh là tất cả những gì mà em muốn có. We were meant to be.
Meant to be là chúng tôi có ý định trở thành như vậy không? Nhưng có nghĩa là như vậy.
I don't mean to hurt you, for example. I don't mean to hurt you. Tôi không có ý làm tổn thương anh chẳng hạn. Động từ mean nghĩa là, như ở đây nó nghĩa là có ý là I don't mean to hurt you. Alright. And we were meant to be. Oh, yeah, to be supposed. You are supposed to start work at 8 o'clock. You're supposed. You are supposed to do on the homework, on the assignment. You are supposed to do on the assignment, các bài tập. You are supposed. Anh được cho là có trách nhiệm phải làm tất cả các bài tập. Như vậy, to be supposed to là được cho là cần phải làm gì đấy. Được cho là well, it is we were meant to be supposed to. Tự nhiên chúng ta là một nửa của nhau, nhưng giờ đã hết rồi, right? Well, okay. Okay, that's good. All right, that's good. Okay, that's good. We were meant to be together, supposed to be together, but we lost it. Right? We were meant to be in love. Right? Supposed to be in love, but we lost it. I mean, we lost the love. Okay? Như vậy to be ở đây có nghĩa là có một cái đoạn ẩn đi, tức là to be in love. We were meant to be in love. Tự nhiên là chúng ta được sinh ra để dành cho nhau, right? Mọi người cho rằng chúng ta là của nhau, nhưng giờ đây chúng ta đã đánh mất. Nhưng giờ đây đã không còn nữa. Right? Something like it. Okay, but anyway, that's the lyric. All right, it's a little bit difficult. It is more figurative. Figurative meaning. Thường trong thi ca và âm nhạc thì lời thơ, lời nhạc thường nó mang nghĩa bóng nhiều. Right. Chúng ta nên phải đoán nghĩa bóng của nó. They say figurative meaning, nghĩa bóng. Okay, just yes, that's right. All right, now so yeah. Now we go to another story. All right, and this is a different story from this is an old story. Right. I want you to go to an old story. Okay, here you see the 1001 night or 1001 night. Do you ever hear the story? Yes, this is very famous.
Yes.
Yeah, where did it come from? The 1001 night story. Where did it come from? Here. What is the 1001 nights?
India.
India. All right. Yeah. Somewhere near India. Right. Well, it could, some story might have taken place in India, but somewhere more than India. All right. And how old are the story? 100 years ago? 1,000 years ago? Right. 1,000 years ago?
1001 đêm thì là bao nhiêu năm ta?
Yeah. And which country are they from? And were they for adults or children? And now read the story and give an answer. All right. Can you read the story on the screen? Yes? Okay. And well, these are the 4 pictures. I may copy the picture into your chat box, or easier for you to follow. So these are the 4 pictures. Now answer these 4 pictures. Right. Okay, now look at the 4 pictures. Now read the story here. All right. The 1001 nights. Right. And I want some of you to read aloud first. I would like to have an idea of your pronunciation. Someone, please. Miss Phương Lan, Đào Thị Phương Lan, can you read the story aloud? Yes, hello Phương Lan. Hello Phương Lan. No one there. Oh, where are you? Okay, Phương Lan, can you hear me? Yes. Yes. So can you read the story here? Can you read the story aloud?
The 1001 Night is one of the most famous books in the world. It is a collection of stories first told by travelers from Persia, Arabia, India, and China between the 9th and 13th century. Professional storyteller also told the story in coffee houses in Turkey
Egypt, and many other countries. The 1001 Night cartoon well known, storyline Aladdin and Alibaba, and the 40 TV. Some people often think they are just for children, but they were all originally for adults. This new edition of the 1001 Night is fully illustrated and contains new versions of all the stories translated from original text by Brian Woodhead.
Okay, thank you. Translated here. This word is pronounced translated. All right, so there's some proper name. I think you need to pronounce the person and Egypt and probably some adverb. You seem to have some difficulty in pronouncing some adverb like.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, probably. All right. Person, Egypt, and originally, and what else? Adults, right? Illustrated, translated. Adults, illustrated, translated. Now, can you read again the words in the chat box?
Yes.
Please.
Probably.
Probably.
All right. Probably.
All right.
Persia.
Egypt. Originally. Nhưng mà không có trọng âm, nó đọc nhẹ thành ơ. Vì trọng âm nó nằm ở vần thứ hai là originally. Okay. Adults. First stress. All right. Adults.
Illustrated.
Illustrated. Right.
Illustrated. Translated.
Right. Translated. Okay, that's good. And now you answer the question. Now question 1. So can you type your answer in the chat box? All right. Read the story and give a quick answer, short answer. All right. Give a short answer. Don't give the full answer. The 4 question. Okay, and can you type your answer in the chat box? Right. So you see the answer in the question in the chat box, and now you read the story, right? And you can give an answer.
Yeah.
No answer. So I think the four question here are easy enough for you to do. Right.
Em trả lời tiếp 4 câu này hay sao thầy?
Yes, give the answer to the four question. Everyone, all right. Everyone, give your answer to the four question and type your answer in the chat box, right? And that is for everyone to do. All right. What about others? Hello, other story. And I think number 2, it could be incorrect. Your answer number 2 could be incorrect. So this is one of the most famous book, right? And how old were the story? How old are the story? Okay, one of the famous books in the world, right? It's from Iran, right? Are you sure, Ms. Bảo Trân? The story is from Iran. So, what is the 1001 Nights? So it's one of the most famous books in the world, right? And how old are the story? It is the story first told between the 9th and the 13th century. So the story are about 1,000 years, right? Around 1,000 years. So it's in number 3 is right. Around 1,000 years. Như vậy chúng ta có tính bằng phẳng là 1,000 years, right? 1,000 years old, right? Because they ask how old are the stories, so you can say 1,000 years old. Và như vậy câu trả lời của nó sẽ là 1,000 years old. Number 2. 1,000 years is correct, but it should be about 1,000 years old. Because the question is how old. Câu hỏi how old thì thường phía sau phải dùng years old, right? 1,000 years old. How old are you? I'm 30 years old. I'm 40 years old. How old is the bridge? How old is the Long Biên Bridge? So say more than 100 years old, right? Và như vậy với câu hỏi how old thì chúng ta trả lời có tính từ old ở cuối cùng thì là mới đúng. And where did it come from? Persia. Persia, what does that mean? Vietnamese. Persia. What's the name of the country in Vietnamese? Persia là quốc gia nào ạ? Now this country does not exist, but in the past it is. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Ba Tư, right? And now it seems that it is a part of Iran, all right, something, right? And Persia, India, right? And the final question is, were they for adults or children? Were they, như vậy hỏi thì simple past. Were they? So they were originally for adults. So you say for adults, that's right. Okay, that's good. All right. So it seems that it's not very difficult for you to understand. And now we go to this one story of the book, that is Shahrazad's story. We say Shahrazad's story. Now listen to the story and match paragraph 1, 2, 3 to picture A to C. Now look at the picture. Picture A. What do you see in picture A? All right. And what do you see in picture B? And what do you see in picture C? Picture A, you see two ladies, right? And what are the difference between the two ladies? Any difference? Can you make a guess from the costume they were wearing? In picture A, can you make a guess from the costume they were wearing? You know costume? One in yellow and one in blue, right? So are they in the same class or different class? Same class. Class bên cạnh nghĩa lớp học nó còn có nghĩa là giai cấp, đẳng cấp, right? So you see from the costume they were wearing, so do you think they were from the same class or different class? Same or different? What does the yellow color symbolize or represent? Different. What does yellow color symbolize? Yellow color symbolize, tượng trưng, symbolize or represent, thể hiện, đại diện, represent. Right. So what did yellow color here symbolize? Symbolize the
royal.
The royal, all right. Someone belonging to the royal, all right. And here the ordinary people, right? We say the layman, all right. The lay people. Dân thường chúng ta gọi là lay people. You need to know this word. From royal family. Royal family member.
Hoàng gia.
Right. Member, royal family member. And the opposite, you have the lay people. Lay people. Or layman. Right. That's how you say layman. Right. Dân thường, thường dân, thứ dân. Right. Chúng ta gọi là thứ dân hoặc là thảo dân hoặc là dân thường. Theo phim Tàu thì là thảo dân. Thảo là cỏ. Right. Right. In India, so and then in India, Gandhi has a famous saying. sort of he said he want to be a tree, a tall tree rather than the grass. Có một câu của Gandhi tôi lại không nhớ chính xác, ta thà là một cái cây cô đơn đứng trên cao còn hơn là một ngọn cỏ lau sâu ở dưới đất. Right, that is the point. Grass. So that is picture number one. What about picture number two? What do you see in picture number two? How many people do you see in picture number two?
3 people.
3 people. Who are they? Right. Who has a saw on his left? A saw. You know a saw.
The king.
Right. Saw. We say saw. A saw. Who carry a saw on his left?
Kiếm.
Right. That's good. But we pronounce it saw, not sword, but saw. All right. So who kept a saw on his left side, left hand side? Who was he? Who were the men with the saw? And who were the 2 people, a man and a lady here? And what are they doing? All right. What were they doing? What were the man, the lady doing? And who were the men with the saw on his left hand side? Which class did the man with the saw belong to? You see it, he wears something yellow, right? Right.
Soldier.
Soldier. You mean soldier? A leader?
Soldier.
Soldier. You mean soldier?
Yeah, soldier. Yes.
Soldier. All right, we say soldier. Người lính. All right, soldier. It is pronounced a soldier, right? I think he's a soldier. No, the soldier didn't wear a hat in this way. And a soldier never wear yellow color. Yellow color was not for soldier. Màu vàng không dành cho lính. Right.
King.
He should be a king. He could have been a king. He could have been a king. Ở đây chúng ta có thể dùng cấu trúc giả định vào. He could have been a king. Chúng ta đưa ra một sự suy đoán. He could have been a king. Alright. Chúng ta có thể luyện dùng những cấu trúc giả định này. Ông ấy có thể là một he must have been a king. Ắt hẳn là một vị vua. Maybe must is better. He must have been a king, right? And who were the couple here? Alright. What were they doing? Were they going to kiss each other? Who were the couple?
No kid.
No kissing. What were they doing? Were they close to each other?
They worry something. They talk and worry something.
They seem to be very close. They seem to be close to each other. And pay attention to the lady. What did the lady have on her forehead? What did you see on the lady's forehead?
The lady married already.
Right, good. Forehead. So you see the symbol of her marriage on her forehead. Trên cái trán. So it means that she was married, right? And who could be her husband? Who could have been her husband?
Maybe a king.
Maybe the king. And so what was he doing with the man? What was he doing with the man?
Maybe the man is her real love.
Yeah, she was dating with a man. She was dating with this man. You know, to date. They were looking at each other passionately. Okay, good verb. Passionately. Một cách say đắm. Right, alright, good, alright. Passionately. So the lady, she was dating with a man. And what was going to happen to the couple? Do you think? What was going to happen to the couple?
The king want to kill them.
The king was going to kill them, kill the lady, or kill both.
Both.
The king was going to kill both. You see, his hand was put on his sword. All right, so he was going to kill both. And next, the third picture. So the same lady, a different lady.
Different lady.
A different lady, another lady. And who
Maybe
was
the
the
lady
man?
The lady in the first.
And where were they? Where were they? Where do you think they were? They were in a wedding ceremony. They were doing the wedding ceremony, right? You see.
Yes.
And this is the king, and now the king was marrying another lady, right? The king married a new wife, right? A new lady.
Yes.
He already killed his old wife, all right, with her mistress, right? Người tình, you know, mistress. Chúng ta có biết từ người tình nữa, lover, but mistress. Mistress. And so the king got married again with another lady. And now listen and match the three picture. All right. And now listen.
Point 8. So that night.
Okay. Do you hear the recording? Yes.
Yes.
Do you hear the? Okay, that's good. I always need to check to make sure that you can hear the recording. All right. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time.
Point 8. So that night, Shahrazad was getting ready for bed when her sister came to visit her. She began telling her sister a story called The Fisherman and the Genie. While she was telling the story, the king came into the room. He started listening to her story too, and became more and more interested. Shahrazad continued telling the story all night, but she stopped just before the end and said, "The morning's here, husband. Am I going to die now?" "No, no," said the king. "Tell me the end of the story." "I'll tell you this evening, but not before," said Shahrazad with a smile. That night, Shahrazad finished the story, and then immediately began another. This continued night after night. The king never heard the end of a story until the next evening. He couldn't kill his wife because he always wanted to know how each story ended. As time passed, the king fell in love with Shahrazad. He knew he could never kill her because he couldn't live without her and her stories. To show Shahrazad he really loved her, the king married her again. The stories Shahrazad told the king became the stories of the 1001 Nights.
Okay, now. Okay, now you read the story here. There are three paragraphs, and now match the paragraph with the picture. There are three pictures, all right? And there are three stories. So that is Shahrazad. The lady's name was Shahrazad. Shahrazad's story. And now, so can you read the story here? Are the words big enough for you to read? Or you want it to be bigger? Okay, can you read it now? Yes? All right. So paragraph 1. So which picture, A, B, or C? Paragraph 1. So picture A, B, or C? Do you think? Picture B. Well, one day the king Shahrazad found his wife with another man, so he killed her and her lover. So that is picture B. And paragraph 2.
A.
Picture A. Really? Picture A?
C.
All right, not A. All right, picture
Yes.
C. So, yeah, picture C. And who's the man on the right of the lady of the bridge of the bride, right? Who was the man on her right hand side?
Maybe her father.
Her father. All right, her father, right? And did he look happy?
No.
No.
He
Why?
upset.
Why didn't he look happy?
He worried about his daughter will be killed after marriage.
Yeah, he thought that his daughter was going to be killed after being married to the king. All right, so he looked very worried. All right, and the lady, what about the lady? Was she very happy?
She's very smart.
Oh, she's smart, right? Her face showed that she was thinking about something, right? She was thinking of some strategy or some plot. She was thinking about some plot. You know, to think about some plot. Plot là mà gì? Âm mưu, right? Tiếng Việt chúng ta gọi cái này là ủ mưu, right? Do you ever hear the phrase ủ mưu in Vietnamese, right? So she seemed to be thinking about a plot. Đang nghĩ về một cái plot, một cái âm mưu, một cái scheme, plot, right? Plot cũng là cốt truyện. And now her face, you see her face. And paragraph 3. So which picture?
A.
All right. Picture A. So who is the other lady in picture A? So who was the lady wearing yellow? Who was the lady wearing yellow?
Sarah.
Sarah, the king's wife. And who was the lady wearing blue clothes?
Her sister.
Her sister. That's good. All right. And now, so that's it. And now you listen again and give an answer to the following question. Now here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 5 questions, and you have to identify whether they are true or false. All right. Now listen again. Oh. And read the beginning of the story again and say true or false. So both reading and listening. Right.
Point 8. So that night, Shahrazad was getting ready for bed when her sister came to visit her. She began telling her sister a story called The Fisherman and the Genie. While she was telling the story, the king came into the room. He started listening to her story too, and became more and more interested. Shahrazad continued telling the story all night, but she stopped just before the end and said, "The morning's here, husband. Am I going to die now?" "No, no," said the king. "Tell me the end of the story." "I'll tell you this evening, but not before," said Shahrazad with a smile. That night, Shahrazad finished the story, and then immediately began another. This continued night after night. The king never heard the end of a story until the next evening. He couldn't kill his wife because he always wanted to know how each story ended. As time passed, the king fell in love with Shahrazad. He knew he could never kill her because he couldn't live without her and her stories. To show Shahrazad he really loved her, the king married her again. The stories Shahrazad told the king became the stories of the 1001 Nights.
Okay.
Recording.
Okay, now number 1, true or false? The king killed his first wife.
True.
True, it's true, right? And number 2, he was married to his next wife for 3 years.
False.
False, all right. He was married to a different woman every day, right?
Yes.
The king married a different woman every day and killed her the next morning before she could stop loving her. All right. And this continued for 3 years. So many women were killed by the king. And Shahrazad worked for the king.
False.
False. How can you correct this sentence?
Married the king and tell the story.
No, her father worked for the king. But not she. She didn't work for the king. Her father worked for the king.
Yes.
And Shahrazad's father didn't want her to marry the king. True or false?
True.
It's true. It's true. Because her father thought that the king would kill her. Shahrazad asked her mother to help her.
False.
It's false. So how can you correct the sentence? Number 5.
Shahrazad asked her sister.
Her sister to help, right? Shahrazad asked her. Cái này chúng ta đọc nối vào. Nếu nói chúng ta phải nói nối vào. Asked her. Vì asked. Ed này được phát âm là asked. And Shahrazad asked her mother to help her. Right? Asked her mother. Asked her như đọc nối và nên asked her. Right. And now here, which of these ending to Shahrazad's story is correct? A, B, or C? One, 2, or 3?
One.
One.
One. The king didn't kill Shahrazad, and they lived happily together. One. And now, listen again, answer the question. Now, this is level. Who listened to Shahrazad's first story? Why didn't the king kill her the morning after the wedding? What was Shahrazad's plan? What did the king do in the end, and why? Right.
Point 8.
So that night, Shahrazad was getting ready for bed when her sister came to visit her. She began telling her sister a story called The Fisherman and the Genie. While she was telling the story, the king came into the room. He started listening to her story too, and became more and more interested. Shahrazad continued telling the story all night, but she stopped just before the end and said, "The morning's here, husband. Am I going to die now?" "No, no," said the king. "Tell me the end of the story." "I'll tell you this evening, but not before," said Shahrazad with a smile. That night, Shahrazad finished the story and then immediately began another. This continued night after night. The king never heard the end of a story until the next evening. He couldn't kill his wife because he always wanted to know how each story ended. As time passed, the king fell in love with Shahrazad. He knew he could never kill her because he couldn't live without her and her stories. To show Shahrazad he really loved her, the king married her again. The stories Shahrazad told the king became the stories of the 1001 Nights.
Recording.
Okay. Now, number one, who listened to Shahrazad's first story?
The king and her sister.
Her sister, and also the king, right? Her sister first, right? Because
Yes.
at first, Shahrazad meant to tell the story to her sister, not to the king, right? But the king happened to hear the story. I use the verb mean that I ask you at first. Shahrazad meant to tell the story to her sister, but not to the king.
Yes.
Meant tức là có ý, hàm ý, hay là chỉ có ý là kể câu chuyện cho chị mình nghe, chứ không phải là to the king, right? So at first Shahrazad meant to tell the story to her sister, right? And but the king happened to her. The king happened to hear the story. You know, happen to hear? Happened to hear the story. So happen to, what does that mean? So what does the verb happen here mean? Động từ happen ở đây có nghĩa là gì ạ?
Vô tình nghe thấy phải không?
Tình cờ nghe thấy. Alright, tình cờ. Happen to do something là tình cờ làm gì đấy. We can say do it by chance, alright? Happen to do something. It means do something by chance. By chance tức là tình cờ làm việc gì đấy một cách tình cờ. Alright. Not intentionally. Làm việc gì cho có ý là do something intentionally. Intentionally, right? So you need to know these collocations because they are related to each other. Mà trái nghĩa là do something intentionally, làm việc gì đấy mà có ý định làm việc gì đấy theo ý định. Okay, and now number two, question number two. Why didn't the king kill her the morning after the wedding? What's your answer?
Because the king killed her morning after the wedding, because she was dating a man.
She was
because the king want to know the end of the story.
Right, because the king wanted to hear the end of her story. All right, but she didn't finish her story before the next evening. So the king didn't kill her the morning after the wedding. Usually, the king killed his wife the morning after the wedding. All right, but the king didn't kill Shahrazad the morning after the wedding because the king wanted to hear the end of her story. Right. because he wanted to hear the end of her story. And what was the Shahrazad's plan?
She tell the story and keep the end of the story, and then she tell the end of story in the next day and start new one.
Every evening when she finished one story, she start a new story and didn't finish it, didn't tell the end of the story until the next evening, right? All right, that's right. So every night she finished the story of the previous night and started a new story, but she didn't finish telling the end of the story until the next morning. Not until. Ở đây cấu trúc này chúng ta có một cấu trúc là đặc thù của tiếng Anh, typical of English, thì not until. And you need to use this, alright? Not until. Không cho đến khi, ví dụ đến năm 2023 chúng tôi mới tốt nghiệp, đến mùa hè 2023 chúng tôi mới tốt nghiệp. What did you say in English? How did you say this sentence in English?
We don't graduate until 2020, summer of 2023.
We won't. Future. We will not. We won't graduate until the summer of 2023. Okay. Đó, đây. Như vậy tiếng Việt thì chúng ta lại nói khác với tiếng Anh là đến mùa hè này chúng tôi mới tốt nghiệp, nhưng tiếng Anh là chúng tôi sẽ không tốt nghiệp cho đến mùa hè năm nay. Right. So this is the English way. Chúng tôi sẽ không tốt nghiệp. Rồi đây là cái mốc 2023. Alright. And in the Vietnamese, yes. So that is English, this one, and this is Vietnamese. So the English is the English is the red one, and the Vietnamese is the yellow one. Thì như vậy cùng trên một cái trục tuyến tính thời gian, nhưng mà người Anh lại chọn cái bên phía tay trái của cái mốc thời gian này để diễn tả và dùng cấu trúc là not until. Mình thì nếu mình dịch word by word thì chúng ta nghe nó khó chịu. Chúng tôi sẽ không tốt nghiệp cho đến mùa hè 2023 thì cũng hiểu được, nhưng mà nghe nó hơi lùng bùng. Và cho nên chúng ta sẽ nói là phải đến mùa hè 2023 thì chúng tôi mới tốt nghiệp. Right. Thì như vậy là người Việt là chọn cái phía bên tay phải của cái mốc thời gian này trên cái trục tuyến tính thời gian này, thì người Việt có xu hướng là dùng mô tả cái đoạn màu vàng là đoạn nằm sau cái mốc này. Tức là đoạn có, còn người Anh là muốn mô tả đoạn không cho đến thời điểm này, tức là đến thời điểm này là thời điểm có. Thì cả hai đều diễn tả như nhau, nhưng mà người Anh thì muốn thường hay diễn tả bằng và được minh họa nó sang cái đồ thị tuyến tính thời gian là ở cái đoạn trước, tức là đoạn không, đoạn thể hiện bằng dấu trừ. Còn người Việt là đoạn dấu cộng và nằm phía sau. Right. You get it? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Thank
it.
you.
That is the way. Nên chúng ta phải minh họa nó ra một cái trục tuyến tính thế này thì nó dễ nhìn thấy hơn. Right. This is the see. right? So now you can see a little bit clearer. That's it. So try to use this structure when you speak. You write in English, right? Sometimes the Vietnamese structure similar to the English one, but usually they're different. Usually they're different. And so, but when we speak English, we try to use the structure that the native speaker use. Giống như người nước ngoài họ nói tiếng Việt, mà nếu mà chúng ta thấy họ nói mà theo đúng cái kiểu của người Việt nói là chúng ta sẽ rất là ngưỡng mộ họ, có nghĩa là họ nắm tiếng Việt rất là tốt, right? Thì vì chúng ta nói tiếng Anh cũng vậy thôi, nếu mà chúng ta nói đúng cấu trúc mà người bản ngữ nói thì người ta sẽ rất là đánh giá cao cái ngôn ngữ mình sử dụng. Rồi nếu mà chúng ta nói thì kiểu dịch từ Việt sang thì họ nghe họ cũng hiểu được, nhưng mà họ sẽ hiểu nó hơi vất vả hơn. So it's more difficult for them to follow you. But if you can use the structure, the collocation they use, so it's even very much easier for them to follow you, right, and to understand what you are saying. So that's it. Thì như vậy là với lớp chúng ta thì về cơ bản là chúng ta cũng có thể diễn tả được, có thể giao tiếp được, nhưng mà chúng ta cần cải thiện về cái ngôn ngữ chúng ta sử dụng cho nó càng ngày càng chuẩn xác hơn. Okay, and now what did the king do in the end? What did the king do in the end?
The king didn't kill
Didn't kill her. All right. And what else? I think something else.
He fell in love.
He fell in love with her, and
because he didn't live without her and her story.
Right. He couldn't live without her and her story, and he decided to. He fall in love with. Right. Remember the difference between fall in love and be in love. Right. Be in love and fall in love, they seem to be the same, but actually they are a little bit different. Fall in love. Be in love, that is the state, and fall in love, that is the action. Hai cụm này dịch sang tiếng Việt thì là đều nó gần như nhau, nhưng mà trong tiếng Anh thì nó khác nhau. Be in love là diễn tả trạng thái, còn fall in love là diễn tả hành động. Ví dụ cô ấy yêu Anna trong 5 năm. She was in love with Mr. A for 5 years. And then cô ấy là đem lòng yêu một anh B to cao đẹp trai hơn chẳng hạn. And then she started to fall in love with another who is blah 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 blah. Right. Thì như vậy cái đoạn 5 năm đấy là chúng ta đang mô tả về một cái state, thì chúng ta dùng là she was hoặc là she had been in love. Nếu mà chúng ta hàm ý nó diễn ra trước cái sau thì có thể dùng had been, dùng past perfect. Nhưng mà phía sau là diễn tả hành động, fall in love. Đó là khi cô ấy gặp anh ấy lần đầu tiên, cô ấy đã cảm thấy là yêu anh ấy, thì như vậy không thể nói là be in love được. Cái đấy buộc phải dùng fall in love. Nếu dùng be in love thì người ta không hiểu, vì nó diễn tả không đúng. She fell in love with him when she first met him, chứ không thể là she was in love with him when she first met him được. Lúc đấy chỗ đấy chỉ có thể dùng động từ fall, bởi vì nó là phải là hành động mà không thể trạng thái. Và như vậy trong tiếng Anh là nó có các động từ, nhiều động từ, nó sẽ dịch sang tiếng Việt nó giống như nhau, nhưng mà trong tiếng Anh là chúng ta phải dùng đúng động từ nào mang nghĩa hành động, động từ nào mang nghĩa trạng thái. Thì tùy ngữ cảnh chúng ta dùng cho nó phù hợp. That's the point. And so in the end of finally, all right, you can say finally, in the end of finally, the same. Why do we need to know a synonym? Chúng ta cần biết càng nhiều cái từ đồng nghĩa càng tốt, bởi vì nếu mà chúng ta phải sử dụng lại một cụm từ mà tương đương nghĩa thì chúng ta phải thay từ đi. Thì nếu trong một bài nói ngắn mà chúng ta dùng 2 lần in the end là người ta sẽ đánh giá là chúng ta vốn từ vựng chúng ta kém. Nếu là chúng ta dùng một lần in the end rồi, bây giờ chúng ta muốn dùng lại cũng có nghĩa là cuối cùng một cái gì đấy, nhưng mà lại cần phải dùng cái cụm từ văn nghĩa cuối cùng, thì chúng ta buộc phải đổi sang là finally. Alright. Hay là fall in love vậy. Nếu mà để dùng một lần rồi dùng lại nữa thì là gì? Thì đừng giờ không nên dùng fall in love nữa, là become his lover or become her lover. Alright. Or fall for him, fall for her. Fall for someone cũng có nghĩa là fall in love. Nếu chúng ta thi nói là chúng ta phải dùng đa dạng từ rồi đa dạng cấu trúc thì chúng ta mới có điểm cao được, không thì chúng ta cũng chỉ ở cái mức khoảng 5 IELTS thôi, 5.5, 6 mà không dùng đa dạng là đã khó đạt đến 6. Như vậy là chúng ta buộc chúng ta phải use a variety of language structure and rich lexical resources. Okay, and you need to know the more synonym the better. Okay, now, so I want you that well, my question is, do we have any old story like the 1001 Night story in Vietnam? Do we have a similar story? Yes or no? Do we have a similar story to 1001 Night in Vietnam? If yes, so can you name some? Yes, Trạng Quân story. Okay, good. All right. Tấm Cám. Yes. All right. Some story, several story. Now, reflect on the story you know and try to tell the story, right? In short. Okay, good. All right. Okay, good. Trồng thủy Mì Châu. All right. So yeah. You can tell the story in brief. Tell such a story in brief. Right. You can take notes, some key words or phrase, and you look at the note, and then you can tell the story and use simple past tense. Chúng ta có thể ghi ra một vài cái note và nhìn vào đấy chúng ta có thể tell story, và chúng ta nhớ quy chiếu thời gian là past, thì chúng ta dùng simple past tense. And that's all. Anyone who volunteer? Yes.
Mọi người ơi, sao nãy giờ mình không nghe thầy nói á, hình như là đang giải lao hả mọi người?
No, I am giving you time to think about.
What?
Think about the story.
Chị tao muốn giết con.
Okay, now if you don't have any story to tell, so you can summarize the story you have just watched on the video. Okay, Yes, in Vietnamese, but now you can retell it in English, right? Now, who can tell the story? Either your story, or you can give a summary of the story you have just watched. Yes? Someone, please. Anyone who volunteer? Ms. Hồng Deep, can you? Yes. So okay, so we're trying to think of a story. Remember, reflect on some story, of course in Vietnamese, but you can summarize it to give some main feature of the story about the character and the main plot. Another character and the main plot. And then you can retell the story. I think that you can do it. All right. Now, in the next class, we will continue with something here, but I would like to say something about the content of your midterm test. So, and that you are going to listen to some, listen for some name, right, and some number. You already did this, yes? And let's see. Well, như vậy hôm sau thì chúng ta sẽ nghe name and number and mostly name and number and some something about some information about a tour. All right. So including the also address and the amount of money and some more item information. All right. And website address. So do you want to listen to a sample of it? Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, I can give you a sample of this, all right? But I don't give you the answer, right? I think it's easy for you. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, now. So I will show you. Okay, for example, you answer the question, all right? Write no more than 2 words and or number about some information. A lady who, on the first day starting her university course during the orientation week. So she's talking to her classmate, right? And what kind of tour? So that the first information, how to find out about the tour, all right? By what channel of communication, and how many people? This is a number. What is the address? So you already, and how much pay? It means the amount of money. And which 2 items were included in the cost of the hire? To hire, and the website address. So it seems that the not very unfamiliar information, right? And now let's listen.
Track 21.
So, how's your very first week at university going, Rita? It's orientation week for all you new students, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Orientation week. Yes, it's great fun. There are so many different events going on to help us make friends and find our way around the university. And to get around the city, come to that. But you'll remember all that, John. You were a new student once.
That's true. I remember I went on a walking tour of the city on my first day, and I think some students did a bus tour.
Well, I did a bike tour. I was sent an email about it, and I decided to sign up. There were only 8 places, and there were 7 other names on the list already, so I got the very last place.
I didn't know you had a bike.
I don't have a bike, but that didn't matter. We all hired them from a little cycle hire shop on Barkway Street. You probably know the place.
Barclay Street? Do you mean the Barclay Street on campus?
No, it's Barkway Street. Barkway. Number 22 Barkway Street, to be exact. It was great. We could choose a traditional bike or an electric one.
So I take it you went electric?
Yes, of course I did. Well, think about it. Why ride a traditional bike when you can get around the city much faster on an electric one? And because there was a group of us, it wasn't too expensive. In fact, the cycle hire was only $120 for the whole group. So the cost was only $15 per person, and that was for 3 whole hours.
Did you say $50?
No, $15. So I thought it was really quite cheap. And I didn't have to bring along a helmet to wear either. That was included. And we also got a lock. So it was easy to park our bike safely when we wanted to stop and take a break.
Sounds good. Have you got the website address of the place you got your bike from? I quite like the idea of doing a bike tour.
Yes, it's a really easy one to remember. It's tradeelectric.com.
Can you say that again?
Trade Electric. TradeElectric. All one word, .com.
Thanks, Rita.
No problem. Hey, maybe we can do a bike tour together. I'd love to cycle as far as the harbour next time.
Great. That's a date then.
Okay, easy, right? Easy.
Not easy.
Not easy. All right, there are around 25 questions. There are 3 parts and 25 questions. And you hear some are easier than that, and some are similar to that, right? Okay, so that's it, right? And if some parts is difficult, so you may listen twice. Okay. Anyway, I guess you did. You must score at least 6 or above. All right. There's no need to worry about it. And if you want to retell the story like a Tam story, so you need to some vocabulary. For example, you need to identify the different character Tắm, the sister. Cám, the younger sister. All right. And Tắm, the elder sister. And her mother, and then stepmother. Do you know stepmother?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
stepmother. And book. Well, how do you say? What's the English word for book? What's the English word for book? Yeah, fairy là fairy name. Fairy name là một cái tên thần tiên. You can say angel, alright? Angel, angel. Thần tiên, right? God, alright. You can say God, right? Something like it. Right. Vị thần, buộc đấy chẳng có là vị thần, right? Is the point. So you need some name, and then you summarize what happened, the story, and I think that it's the everyday life. So you don't need to use a very difficult words, and you can put in simple structure, and then you can tell the story. And then in the future, if you are asked to tell the story, so you need to do it in that way. However, if you want to get a higher mark, so you need to use rich vocabulary and a variety of grammatical structure. Nhưng mà để được điểm cao thì chúng ta nên dùng cái vốn từ vựng nó phong phú hơn, và các cấu trúc chúng ta thay đổi cấu trúc linh hoạt hơn, tức là dùng nhiều loại cấu trúc khác nhau thay vì chỉ dùng một hai loại cấu trúc đơn giản, thì chúng ta dùng nhiều loại cấu trúc khác nhau. You can use adverbial clause of time, adverbial clause of reason, cause, effect, and reality or HT clause, and also noun clause. And you can use some good collocation, or even sometimes idiom. You can use idiom in spoken English, but in written English, so you should avoid using the idiom. Một số cái câu kiểu như ngạn ngữ thì chúng ta có thể dùng trong ngôn ngữ nói được, nhưng viết thì chúng ta nên tránh. That is the point, because it's informal, right? And so that's it. And for listening, so that's something mostly focus on name and number, and amount of money, and education, work. That's related to the vocabulary, focusing on education or work, right? Và chủ đề cũng xoay quanh chủ đề quen thuộc là education và work, right? So that's it. Okay, so that's it for today, right? And remember, and next time, so we will, before we finish the class, we will spend around 40 minutes to do the midterm test. Ngày mà buổi tới chúng ta sẽ dành khoảng 30-40 phút để dành cho các bài test, right? And you can give your answer in the chat box here. You know the chat box? In the chat box here, right? So you can give your answer in the chat box here. Okay? Right. But in the chat here, right? You see the chat box. So when you finish your test, so type your answer in the chat box and you send it directly to me in the chat box. Okay? Like for example, let's go on here. All right, and you can type in the chat box. Okay, this is in the chat, right? So you get here, yes, and you send it directly to me when you completed the test. Okay, so that's it, and good night. See you again Tuesday next week. And sleep well. And sweet dream.
Thầy cho em hỏi xíu được không thầy?
Okay, yes.
Thầy là mình thi là mình làm trên giấy, mình làm sao thầy? Mình gõ
Đấy, mình có thể gõ đâu đấy ra ở trên một cái file Word, rồi mình copy gửi vào trong cái chat này, chatbox này. Right. Đấy, cái chatbox khi nãy này. Cái vị trí trong trên cái Google ở Microsoft Teams nó có cái mục gọi là chat, right? So type your answer in chat.
Thầy nhắn riêng qua cho thầy hay sao thầy?
Nhắn riêng qua cho tôi, right? Type your answer in chúng ta có nhìn thấy cái mục chat ở đây không? Yes. I will show you this. Ai không nhìn thấy thì sẽ chụp cái hình này lại ở chỗ this is the chart. All right. But don't worry about it. It shouldn't be difficult. So you see a chart here? Yes. Everyone? Yes. Okay, you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so you can send your answer to me in the chat box. All right. So it shouldn't go anywhere. All right. Okay. Yes, that's it. And it should be not difficult for you. All right.
Okay. Good night.
Okay, so good night. Don't worry about it. All right.
Excuse me, teachers. Thầy ơi, tức là thầy sẽ nhắn những câu hỏi xong rồi tụi em sẽ trả từng người.
Câu hỏi thì tôi sẽ chụp, tôi gửi vào chatbox, xong rồi chúng ta nghe.
Right.
Chúng ta nghe trực tiếp ở trên này, xong rồi chúng ta có thể ghi câu trả lời ra giấy xong rồi gõ vào trong cái mục chat đấy, right? Hoặc là chúng ta có thể ghi trên một cái file Word rồi chúng ta copy paste vào cái chat đấy. Okay, that's it. Right.
Easy không thầy? Easy không thầy?
Okay, sure, very easy. Alright. Okay, sure.
Because level formal.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, so good night everyone.
Yes,
thầy ơi, trước khi kết thúc cho em hỏi xíu là mình thi nói là mình có chủ đề hay là câu hỏi gì trước không thầy?
Thi nói thì để chắc thi nói với đây tôi hội ý lại với chỗ khoa bộ môn người xem thử là chúng ta sẽ thi thế nào. Nhưng mà chắc là thi nói rồi, cuối kỳ là phải thi nói rồi đây.
Còn giữa kỳ thì sao?
Listening thì thi nói thì chắc là sẽ cho nhiều khả năng là cho số chủ đề và một chủ đề vài câu hỏi gợi ý, rồi chúng ta chuẩn bị 1 phút rưỡi gì đấy, 1-2 phút gì đấy, cái là chúng ta sẽ trình bày rồi trả lời 1-2 câu gì đấy.
Vậy là tuần sau mới biết đề thi đi nói là gì luôn hả thầy?
Trong buổi cuối cùng, còn tuần sau thì chúng ta học bình thường, như cái phần cuối buổi học thì chúng ta sẽ dành chắc là còn 40 phút để làm cái bài listening, bài midterm để có cái cột điểm. Right. I think that's no problem for you. Lớp mình thì chắc không đến nỗi gì, không có vấn đề gì. Right. Okay. Some of you are very good, right? Most of you can speak English more than
Tức là tuần sau là kiểm tra nghe trước, rồi tuần sau nữa là mấy
nghe là bởi vì nó là midterm, chúng ta có một cái bài midterm lẽ ra là kiểm tra vào tuần thứ 6, thứ 7, nhưng mà thôi chúng ta để về cuối để kiểm tra thuận lợi hơn. Thế. Ok, đây là chúng ta kiểm tra vào trong tuần sau là kiểm tra midterm. Chúng ta hình như vẫn còn 2-3 buổi học nữa mà. Right. Không biết có trường cho bố trí bù không, chứ nếu bù thì chúng ta còn phải bù cho buổi mắt nè. Right. It's okay. I will talk to someone, someone responsible for it, relevant people. All right. Okay. So good night. Don't worry about your examination. All right.
I'm sorry. Thank you, teachers. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night, teacher.
Good night.
Good night, teacher.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, teacher. Good night.
Night.